Okay,
September
Roy.
the 16th, 1871 was when he was born.
Okay, that was your dad, Conrad Wehens. When were you born, Roy?
7/4/23.
Oh, a firecracker. 4th of July firecracker.
Yep.
And where were you in the order of the 6 children?
Well, let's see. Laurel, Edith, Edward, Gladys, and then I'm next, and then Gloria.
You're number 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Um,
And give us your mother's name, please.
Katie Lamb,
And where was she born and raised?
Chicago. And they got up here in 1908.
In your book.
There's people that lived over around there. See if you recognize any names outside of the Hartmans there.
Okay, so your mother, Katie Lamb, was a young girl when she came here? Or?
13.
Okay, so she came with her mother and dad.
Yeah.
Did they homestead?
There was 3 of them. There was Aunt Bessie, Mother, and Uncle Fred. I think that's the way it went.
The 3 children.
Yeah.
But what was her mother and dad doing? Why did they come here?
Gonna make fortune in this big timber.
Sure.
Oh, he was a lumberman.
No, he was a baker. He didn't know anything
Oh.
about cutting any trees or nothing.
Yeah, it says they came.
He didn't know anything about farming. Now, why he come up here outside of, he heard down there in Chicago he could make a fortune in this big timber, and up he come.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
Same as Wagner.
moved to Michigan in
Right.
November of 1908. Stayed by John Fackler's 2 weeks and moved into the Hunter's place at Weber's came April 24th of 1909. So basically, I think everybody was coming up here because it was land grant by Benjamin Harrison to develop this part of Michigan. And there just happened to be in the middle of the timber business.
When they got down here, the 4 Corners used to be south of where they are now.
Oh, okay. Now we're talking about the corner of M72 and M18.
Yeah,
Okay.
4 Corners used to be just south of there.
Okay.
They got there, of course, Waldo Kellogg's was over there where the tower is, and his house was south of that.
Okay.
And Grandpa told Dad, he said, look at them trees, he said, you'll never see the end of them. And Dad says 20 years it was all gone. He said, there's more in the rivers and lakes, and he said, than what they harvested.
Really?
Yeah.
They try to harvest them too now. They're called, there's a bunch of them down in Florida. They swim in those rivers down there, the Swanee River and that. They're full of them logs, just like Sable River down here in Mile Pond. Oh, there's some logs down there that are
4 feet across.
Yeah, if you could get them up out of there, they'd be worth a lot of money. Just because they're not hurt, they got water soaked and whatnot.
Well, I don't know. Mr. Townsend apparently took a bunch of them out of Higgins Lake, and it was not worth his trouble.
Well,
I
probably
don't know.
because it costs so much to do it.
Yeah.
I watched those guys snagging them down there in the Swanee River, and they got one log there. They ruined 2 pontoon boats and stuff like that trying to get them, and they had to be watch the alligators and stuff. But they snagged them up out of there. But they were cypress,
Oh.
so it
That
makes
makes
a
a
difference
difference,
of what
yeah.
kind of timber they are.
Okay, so your the Lamb family came here about 1908, and so your mother grew up in this area.
Oh, yes.
And your father's family came in
1880. 80 here.
Oh, okay, but they came to America in 1872
Yeah.
from
Germany, Hamburg, Germany.
Hamburg.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think that's
and
what.
to Roscommon or to this area in 1880. So your father was a homesteader.
Yep.
How many acres did he
He homesteaded this here in 1901, 160 acres. And Grandpa's 160 was right across the road.
So he and his dad had across the road
Yeah,
homesteads.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what they were. They were land grants of 160 acres apiece, and they had to make improvements on the land in order to make
Right.
the land grant work.
So this log cabin that you showed us a picture of,
That's his house after it was brought over here.
where was this one located then?
Right up here on this hump.
Oh, okay. So
He had
right
to rent
where
it out.
yours is.
It's just some people, he had to rent it out there. Them people, I don't know who they are. Dad and mother, and they're in a picture, but he had to rent it out in 1930 and they caught it on fire and burned it down. Of course, them white pine logs and Norway logs and tamarack raptures, I'd go up like a Roman candle. You couldn't get enough water to pour on it, put it out. The,
So that's a substantial looking building, though. How big do you think that is?
I don't know how big it was.
Looks pretty big.
It was
And
two-story.
that was your
Grandfather's.
grandfather's place,
Yep.
John, and he was married to Margaret.
I don't know what Grandpa Wehens done over in Germany.
It looks like about 26 or 28 by 18, something
Yeah,
like that,
it's not little.
with a loft in it.
Yeah.
There's the church where they went to before they come to this country.
Oh my. A very large cathedral-looking place.
And then it burnt,
Wow.
1876.
Very nice. Oh, there's a picture of it burning. Nice. Boy, you have a lot of nice family history with all these pictures, and you're fortunate to have all that. Actually, and I'll state here that he showed us what's the list of passengers called?
Oh, what?
The list of passengers. There's a word for that. On the ship, they came over on this Silesia, Silesia. When they came to America in 1872, there was a list of the passengers, and there's a name for that.
I don't know what it's called. Is it on there?
No, but I should know that. Anyway,
You'll get that. Look that up, Carol.
yeah. Anyway, Mr. Wehens had a picture of the boat on which his ancestors came to America. And
Did you want a picture of that ship?
well, it's pretty neat. What's
I can get some made off from it probably.
Okay, that'll be fine. Mr. Wehens is quite a historian here.
He and his wife categorized this before she passed away.
These are all new pictures in here. Right there.
Found it right away. Good for you.
My cousin and my niece has been over. And I'll tell you, that's where I found out that two of my grandmother's relatives were burned at the stake. They were witches.
Well, that's not too good. That was back in the old country?
Yep.
Two of your grandmothers. Wow.
Now that is a nephew of my grandmother.
Which grandmother? Your mother's mother or
No,
your
Grandma Wehens.
okay. Margaret Wehens. Niederhofer.
There's these three children. Can't see that one.
Okay.
And this is I think their golden wedding anniversary.
Nice. So your grandpa and Grandma Wehens had how many children?
I think there was 5 of them, 6.
And then your parents had 6.
Yeah, this is their golden wedding anniversary.
Okay. Very nice.
That's over in Germany, right?
Yep.
It's over in Germany.
Yep.
Yeah, this wedding anniversary. It's the Niederhofers.
Yep, Niedenhofer.
But didn't they live here?
Nope.
Okay, then
Their
I
two
don't-
children did.
They're still over there.
Their children, two of their children is in Minneapolis.
Okay, I don't have that in my head then.
Okay.
Are we talking about John? We're not talking about John and Margaret
Nope,
because they
this
were
is
here.
a nephew.
Oh, okay. All right, probably. So it's nephew of them. I don't
No,
know
I'd
that.
say Grandpa Wayne had quite a house over there.
I guess he did. Very nice. Wow, fancy party. Very, very nice.
That's
So
their-
these are not people that were ever here.
No, they
Okay.
never got here.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my. They're his two. They're, I think, Niedenhofer family.
Yeah.
This is in German. Very nice.
So when you went to school here, you went to
El Dorado.
El Dorado School,
Yeah.
and that was down at the foot of the hill there where
Yeah.
0144
Yeah.
cut off.
Like how far from here?
3 miles.
3 miles?
Yeah, roughly. It's just before.
How did you get to school?
Well, they took us in the morning, and it wasn't there to pick us up at night while we walked home.
They took you by horse and buggy, horse and wagon, or did you have a car?
Once in a while, a horse and buggy, but most of the time with a car, Model T or 28 Chevrolet.
I was going to say, was it
26.
the old Chevrolet that was in the barn?
Yeah.
No?
Did yours, since you were one of the younger ones, did all your sisters go to the same school with you?
No, Edith taught there the last year the school was open. Then she taught in Fletcher. I started there with Grace Nolan, and then we had a teacher by the name of Vance, and she married Charlie Pattenfutz.
Oh,
Yeah. And they stayed
Myrtle.
at my grandmother's house, the old post office, until Myrtle, exactly, until they got.
did you like school?
Oh yeah, but I couldn't never do any homework because there was always something to do around here, work in the line of chores and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But Grandpa had to have some kind of money over there to have a house that size.
Yes, I would say so. Yeah, they had a nice time.
Now the one daughter studied English,
Whose daughter?
Niedenhofer.
Oh, okay. Oh, so she was able to write English.
Yep.
Isn't that nice? Merry Christmas. So we're looking at a lovely written. Very nice. So you have still quite a number of relatives in Germany.
Yep. I got 2 over here in Minnesota.
Wouldn't be around Hell City, would it?
Hmm?
This thing here is November 1990 from Hell City, Minnesota. Hill City?
No.
Hell City.
That's Grandma Lamb's stuff.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's get back to your schooling. You went all first 8 grades in that one school.
Yeah.
Okay, then where
Of
did you
course,
go?
I can tell you something here too in a minute.
Okay.
Fellow by the name of Robert, last name was Funch, come there. His grandmother had made him lunch. He had homemade Sanger's spread, homemade bread, and big cookie, and 2 hard-boiled eggs and salt and pepper. Well, he hit Mansell Cone on the head. You heard that, have you?
Go ahead. Keep going.
And one egg had been cooked and the other one hadn't. And the one he hit Wilson Hartman with, why, it run all over his head.
Oh my.
But the one he hit Mansell Cone on the head with, why, that was cooked. And that was all right. But
Grandma put the wrong egg in there.
huh?
Grandma put the wrong egg in his lunch. Yeah.
And what did the teacher do about that?
She made Robert go out and pump water, and Wilson went out there and washed his head.
Were you there? Do you remember that
Oh
happening?
yeah, I remember that.
That was at the little school down here
Yeah, yeah,
where Hartman's and
So what was
U and Ireland's.
yeah.
What was the name of that school?
El Dorado.
The El Dorado School. And that was 3 miles south of here.
Yeah.
Right, when you
But-
go down the hill when you start to go up the big hill, the place that's on the right is in the place where the old school building used to be. That school building was there until what? About
How far
1960?
south of your house?
Oh, that's after that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when they tore it down, but it must have been
In the mid 60s?
no. After that was in the 60s, I think that fellow tore it down.
Okay.
Okay, now was that happened to be? It was called El Dorado School then.
Yep.
There's Hunters Lake. Oh, there's Kellogg School. Was at the corner of Hunters Lake Road and F97. That was a different one.
No, yeah. What road goes? Hunter's Road, I think it is.
Rush Road?
No.
What
no.
was the name of that school there by where?
See, what happened was where that foundation is there on the corner by Cone's old place.
Yep, Brush Road and...
That's where the Cook School was.
Okay. That's Brush Road and M18, Cook
Yeah.
School. Yep.
And what happened was Mrs. Cook, they were ministers. Supposed to be. I don't know how far they ever went to study ministry. But there's relatives around here, so I can't say too much.
Yeah, this is public information, so watch what you say.
Anyway, she'd go there and start the fire going, get the kids singing religious songs. The other people got up in arms about that. They didn't want that.
See, that kind of stuff went all the way back. It goes a long ways back.
So they decided to move it down here on the corner across from...
And it became El Dorado School.
Yeah, and then it become...
Isn't that where Grandma, Aunt Matt, everybody called her Aunt Matt, didn't she
Yeah.
teach there?
Maddie Funch?
Didn't she teach there
No.
a long time ago?
No.
Where did she teach?
She taught over here at the ball schoolhouse.
Okay. Now
Okay,
we get that
just
straight.
just a minute. Now, this one that they called the Cook School, did they actually move the building?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, to a different location to get away from the minister people?
Yep.
Yeah. It's in the religious
Because it
school.
was a public school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
And that's the one that you attended?
yeah. But, see, there's Cook's relatives around here yet. And I know some of them. Two of them.
Well,
Yeah.
did they have homestead also? Like
Oh, yeah. Cook's,
the rest of you? Yeah.
Cook's had a big homestead down in there, and they sold to a fellow by the name of Frank McGuire.
Yep. That's where I was trying to think of his name. He
Yeah,
was a retired
engineer. From,
engineer. Right?
He run the train from Detroit to Bay City.
Yeah.
And I don't know what year he sold to them, but you see, Charlie Cook and Dad and Chris King, Bill Foley Sr., and they were all in the huckleberry business.
The what business?
Huckleberries,
Oh,
I was
huckleberries.
just
Okay.
going to say the Huckleberry line.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
But that was very seasonal. They didn't do that for entire living.
oh no, that was summer,
That was a
summer work. And anyway, the last fire was across the road from Charlie Cook's. When you go straight across Van Bridge Road and up on that hill. It was on the west side of the road. We went over the Model T truck and got a whole wash tub full of huckleberries.
That would be on the northwest side of 608.
where's
Right.
608.
The other side of
No, it wouldn't be too far, probably a mile north of Cook's place.
Yeah, but 608 runs east and west, goes
Well, north
that's
down River
north
Road.
down River Road. That's 608.
Yeah. And
Oh,
when you went across there, why, that's where the fire was.
Yeah, right straight
And
across on Stefan Bridge
We
Road.
had the picnic lunch on Cook's front porch, and they had a little lunch there with us, and he was laughing about it. He said, they think I set the fire over there,
The fire had already been by this
where
time?
the fire was. They think he set it. Well, there was no doubt in Dad's mind how the fire got started over there. He knew Charlie was looking for a place for huckleberries, and he was laughing, Charlie was, about they couldn't prove that he said it, but they told him not to set it anymore, he'd be in jail.
That had something to do with kitchen matches in the hip pocket,
Yeah,
Mansell cone.
yeah.
So they didn't prove that he did it.
No.
But your father assumed he did.
They never done bothered Dad much about setting fires.
Uh-huh.
But him and Bill Foley, they met over their rifle season, someplace in there, and I can't find it. Wild raspberries. And boy, we'll set this on fire, and we'll have raspberries next summer.
Raspberries next year.
Uh-huh.
Well, Bill Foley, I don't know how he got in touch with Dad the next spring, and it was still burning. Burning. Well, it got burned somehow, Dad, and said we got to get over there and put the fire out, or we're going to have more fire we can put out. Well, I don't know how long they worked over there, but anyway, they had the 4 horses in there and 2 walking plows, and they was plowing and putting out fire.
Like how big of an area are you talking about?
I
that
don't
burned?
know how big an area, I can't find it.
Oh.
And I never was over there.
Because you're talking about quite far west from here. North of here.
North and east.
North and east.
Oh, okay. Where's Stefan Bridge Road?
Stefan Bridge Road's over that way.
Are
Yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah.
That's not where you're talking about the fires.
Oh no, this over here is over by Bill Foley's.
Oh, guess I didn't catch where Bill Foley's
And
was.
anyway,
So you know where all these places are, but the people listening to this are not going to know. We have to be a little.
Gonna have to get
Explain.
an old map, find out who these
Well,
people
explain
were.
exactly where you're talking about. So you're talking about.
I don't know how many they picked over there when they got all done, but the marsh I can't find over there. We cut marsh hay over there 3 years when I was a kid. I must have been probably 14.
Okay.
That
So
would have been in the 30s.
that would have been
that was in the
37.
30s when the
Yeah.
Depression was on. And,
They had one back then? Depression? They had a depression then?
Oh yeah.
Stop
Another thing.
it. When you say marsh hay, what does that mean? Hay that just grew naturally?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
not planted?
Yeah, on a little spot alongside the river.
Okay.
Another thing, your grandfather borrowed our mower and was cutting over there on the old Henry Hart farm, broke his tongue. And Boyd sawed another one out of oak. And we took the old Model T truck over there, and I was just a kid, and I was supposed to hold the tongue up while they lined the bolt holes up.
And you did, didn't you? You were strong, and you did it.
No, Boyd finally got some sticks and made a
cross.
a tripod or something, and helped me hold it up.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember how long they worked over there on it,
Huh.
and I don't remember.
Big old red oak tongue.
Yeah,
So when you say you went to cut this marsh hay, was that not on your own property?
no, we haven't got any little ground on our property.
Well, how did you get to cut it when it wasn't your property?
Just go cut it.
You just go do it.
Well, yeah.
You wouldn't do that today.
Okay.
It's like the hay marsh over here. My grandparents, great grandparents, used to go over there and cut the hay marsh.
Yeah.
And harvest, they bring the home hay to
Yeah.
feed your animals.
Oh, yeah.
They
Okay.
take when they'd go over there to the hay marsh swamp and harvest the grass, the hay and stuff like that, they'd also take their big 55-gallon or however big those wooden barrels were and load it with spring water and bring it back. This was before well time.
Yeah. I don't know what year the well was put down there, El Dorado. Gus Funk put it down.
Who?
Gus Funk.
From Grayling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking 23, 22, something like that. I've heard those numbers.
I know this one here was put down in 1907.
Well, maybe it was before that. Let's see. Grandpa built that place down there in 25 or 26.
Well, your folks, some of your relatives got here in 1864.
Right, 1879.
No, 1864.
Oh, really?
Huh?
I'll have to do some checking on that. Best number I could find was 1879.
Well, Ernie Ryan's got the abstract. And it says 1864 on his abstract.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, when you were born, this house was already here.
Yep.
So you were born in this house.
Yep. Right in here in this bedroom.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
This is a Sears home.
Yes, I knew it was a Sears home.
There's one or two others like it. He knows where they are, but I don't. One's over by McKinley, I think. Where's that other house like this one made?
Huh?
Over by McKinley? Only turning around. Another house like this one.
There's Samaski's. There's 3 Model 24s in Michigan. There's Samaski's, ours, and one over by Hart.
Hart, Michigan?
Yep.
And where's the Smoski's at?
Over on Zamaski Road.
Oh, okay. That would be over by Mile, right? Between Mile and McKinley?
No, between go to Luzerne, take the old road, and take the first road to the left, the next road to the first road is right next to the left, and that'll take you right by it. But it's setting opposite on the lot.
Okay.
His southeast corner is pointing southwest.
Still a Grayling address, you think?
That would be Luzerne, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's the original windmill that he bought right there, 1875.
Oh my gosh. Paid $18.75 for a windmill.
Head. That's the pumping mechanism up the top.
Kenwood back-geared galvanized steel pumping windmill. Wonderful. Fitted with removable Babbitt bearings.
Yep.
Great.
That's almost like what Grandpa Boyd had down there on that.
Did it come up? I imagine it came up by train. You picked it up in Roscommon.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they did that?
Oh, no,
Or that was before your time?
That was way before my time, 1907. They had the
What year was this house built?
98. That's when he started it, putting it up. Third one down.
Do you remember that Sears home we got down there? Cranes?
No, Edith does.
Does she? She
Yeah.
remembers when it was put in?
Yeah. She was telling me about that the other day and asked me about it.
This is a different one. Do they have two different ones?
I don't know.
Did they have two different windmills?
No, this is the only one he's ever had.
Well, this one is,
Is that just a tower, though?
oh, maybe that's just a tower.
What does it say? Right there.
This one says 8-foot backyard.
So this is the windmill right here, but then you got...
Oh, then this is the tower. Oh, I see. Okay, the tower was 40 foot
That's this one,
tall,
right?
weighed 725 pounds, and cost $29.85.
Wow.
Cool.
I'll look through and see if I can find that one of ours.
Very good. Excellent.
It's a 24.
Okay,
by-
Roy, let's keep going with your schooling. When you finished at El Dorado School,
Went to Roscommon.
you went into Roscommon.
Yeah. By
How
bus.
did you get there? By bus.
Yeah. Russell Stevens was our bus driver.
Oh, great.
He drove all the time while I was, till I graduated.
Shoot, he drove part-time when I was going to school out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
43.
43. So the war was on.
Yep, he went in the service.
Were you one of the better students, Roy?
No. Like I say, I couldn't do any of the homework around here. You got to feed the chickens, got to feed the horses.
Uh-huh.
And Dad had a galvanized bucket. He had a red line in it. And he said, when you give the horses grain, he said, don't give them any more of that or no less. He said, have it right up to that red line and that's it. And they got that 3 times a day. And they weighed, when he put them on the train, he bought them in West Branch. And when he put them on the train in West Branch to ship them to Roscommon, they weighed 1,800 pounds apiece. And I started driving them on the spring tooth when I was 12 years old, so you can figure out what they weighed when I was driving them. They weighed about probably 1750. He said they lost 50 pounds apiece after he started working them, and he said they never gained it back.
Now, what are we talking about? The
horses.
Horses?
Yeah.
Bought them young then, or bought them skinny? Roy is showing us a paper here from May 27th, 1943. Several folks from South Branch attended the baccalaureate services at the Roscommon Church Sunday evening. The graduates from South Branch were June and Mary Jane Williams, Bobby Jensen, and Roy Wehens. Okay. And now we're looking at a picture of 2 workhorses.
Queenie and Toby.
Queenie and Toby?
Yeah. They're the 2 that I drove on the spring tooth when I was 12 years old.
Wait, I can't say that again.
And that's the 2 that I drove on the spring tooth when I was 12 years old.
Wow.
And I still got the spring tooth, but I don't have the horses.
Well, they were looking like they were going to work pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Suffolk. What does that say? Punch?
I don't know how you'd pronounce that, but that's what they were.
That's the kind of horse they were.
Percheron, probably.
No.
No, they're not big enough for that. It doesn't look like. Suffolk Punch. Punch.
Suffolk Punch. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Could be Paunch, but
Yeah.
Ponch, Punch.
And I don't know where he bought them down there at West Branch. I don't know who he bought them from.
Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
But she had the only thing that she ever had on until he got them was the halter. She never had the harness on, but Toby had worked between 2 other draft horses, some.
Oh, so Toby was experienced.
Yeah.
Did you get along well with the horses?
Oh, yeah. But you couldn't drive her alone without Dad around.
Oh.
You could drive her, but she never went where you wanted her to go.
Unless your dad told her.
Yeah.
Or he was.
She could see him and see the other horse. She was all right.
Huh.
But you couldn't do nothing with her alone.
For heaven's sakes. Just like some children, huh?
She just didn't know nothing. And I started out to cultivate with her. Dad said, how come she stopped? Boy, she picked up her ear and went right out to cultivate.
She knew who was
But she wouldn't go to the cultivator with me.
But his voice
Yep.
spurred her on, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that something? How many animals did you have here on your farm?
Well, when I got out of the service, they had 14 head of beef cattle running around and 3 draft horses.
Oh, but when you were growing up?
Usually 2. Once in a while he'd have 3. He'd go to the punches and borrow old Maggie.
Yeah.
Now the corn binder, that took 3 horses, and he used that just once. And I was asking Russell about that here a while back, and I don't know what become of it. Now he just used it the once. And he had Maggie and R2 on it, Queen Toby here.
So what all did your dad grow here?
Potatoes and corn, buckwheat. He sold the buckwheat down to the mill there in West Branch. I don't remember what he got, 100 or a bushel or anything about it. Then he sold a few apples, but potatoes is what he sold mostly, and he would usually buy oats from Jerry Bigelow, the Keno, mixed with the corn, and then we'd go from there on into the middle at West Branch, and
then I imagine your family had a vegetable garden for their own
yeah, they had
needs?
a big garden here. Yeah.
Your mother did most of that?
Yeah, and she
your
carried
sisters?
on where Grandma left off. See these rose bushes out here in front of the house, Grandma Wehens planted them.
No kidding.
Around the old house, and
I know it's got to be in here.
Yeah.
but I don't know how old the horses they were when I was driving them at 12 years old.
So of the 6 children that grew up here, are you the only one that stayed in this area?
Yes. My sister is at Spring Lake, assisted living.
She's in Michigan.
The other one, she's got religion bad. She's running them down the street, hitting people up for money.
Where does she live?
Someplace in Texas.
Oh.
I got her address around here someplace.
Who's that? Edith?
Gloria.
Gloria.
Edith is in... she should have been over there in your driveway this spring.
That's what you were saying at the 4th of July picnic.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody over there. I saw tire tracks.
She didn't get out of the car.
I saw tire tracks where people turned around. They come
because
in. But
she said by the time she got done walking around Rock Cemetery, she was all tired out.
yeah,
At 90,
I wish she'd have.
97, well, you would be.
Yeah, I wish she'd have stopped in just
Yeah.
say hello.
Which one are we talking about?
Edith.
Oh, Edith. Okay.
Laurel and...
Now, Laurel was Johnny's mother,
yeah,
right?
yeah. He's due in, John.
Really?
So tell me your sisters' names again. Start with the oldest.
Laurel was the oldest, and then Edith, Edward, Gladys, and I, and Gloria.
Dang, that looks like a house I lived in Flint. Did you get them all?
I think so.
Laurel, Edith, Gladys,
Ed, Gladys,
Ed.
Roy,
Roy,
and Gloria.
Gloria. Yeah, she was the youngest. I went to her wedding. Wasn't Gloria Donaldson?
No, Marilyn.
Marilyn O'Connor. No, Richardson.
Richardson. She married Dave Donaldson, and Laurel married Frank Richardson, but they're no relation to the Richardsons at Keno.
Oh.
These Richardsons were from New York State.
Okay, wasn't he? Didn't they? When they left here, didn't they move over by Vanderbilt? Or
They moved. Laurel and Frank moved to Boyce Blank Island,
okay,
and then from
Really?
Boyce Blank Island they went to Texas.
okay.
That's how come John.
I remember them coming with the Jeep every once in a while. Into
Yeah,
Who did Edith marry?
Elvira Richardson.
A local Richardson?
No, they were from New York State, but they were from around Jackson, Michigan, and Muskegon. They were Frank and Al were both electricians.
Were they brothers?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yep. And
And then who did Ed marry? I'm asking hard questions.
yeah, I can't remember her name either. The last time I saw Eddie was a long time ago. He was a joker. He was always joking with somebody.
Who's
I
that?
can remember Eddie.
Huh?
Your brother Ed.
Oh yeah.
He was always joking, kept cutting up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Marion, well,
I can't
Well,
find. No.
whoops.
You're all right. This is that house.
Here's Richards. So Gloria's last name is Matthews.
I don't know where he got to be a mechanic like he was, but he sure could work on cars and stuff.
Oh, okay. So did your sister Gladys never married?
Huh?
Did your sister
She died
Gladys?
at 2 years old.
Oh, okay. She was a child.
Oh man, we're close. Dang it.
I still got some of her clothes.
Who was this, Eddie?
No, that's my dad.
Oh, this is your dad, Conrad.
Yeah.
Nice looking gentleman there.
I don't know what year that was taken.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Gloria married a Mr. Matthews?
Yeah.
What's his first name?
Gloria.
No, his first name.
Yeah. Leroy.
Okay.
Man, that looks a lot like it, but it's not. Just trying to see if they made it in larger sizes. Because it had the hip roof on it like this. 1916, 1913.
Okay, Roy, can you tell us a little bit about your military service? Were you drafted or did you enlist?
I was drafted. And I had fell off my load of hay probably 2 years before they drafted me, and it showed up in x-rays and they wouldn't take me for 3 tries, and they found out that I was all right while they drafted me. That made me late, of course, getting in. Mm-hmm. And we went overseas twice, almost. We got 85 miles out with the first ship, and something went wrong with the engine.
Oh, so were you in the Navy or the Army or what?
Army.
Army.
We sat out there in the bay, ocean, for 3 days, 85 miles out. And
From where? Where had you left from?
Seattle.
Oh.
And they come out with 3 tugs and got us. 2 tugs and got us. They hooked onto it with 2 tugs. But in the meantime, they had flown with a seaplane out there bringing parts.
Oh.
And they worked on it out there, but they couldn't fix it. And they took us back to Fort Lawton. And
Fort what?
Fort Lawton.
Lawton. Okay.
And that's north of Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there 2 weeks before they could get another ship.
Wow.
And then, of course, that one run, and somewhere along the line we got into a typhoon, and that blew the ship backwards, but we had traveled 3 days before that.
No kidding.
You can figure out how that wind blew. So I have been through 2 typhoons, one on land and one on the ocean, and 1 tidal wave.
My goodness.
I gotta take a picture of that. I can't find it.
Okay, so how, can you give me the dates of when you were in the service?
Yeah, I went in May the 1st, 1945, and there's a discussion on the days I come out, because on account of my dad went head first off a moon machine and passed away, and I missed the funeral by about better than a month, right around a month.
Uh-huh.
And
What year was that then?
46.
46.
And
So how far out into, did you serve then out in the Pacific Theater?
oh yeah, I didn't see any action. We went around one island where they didn't know the war was over yet. Mm-hmm. And then we just blew up their anti-aircraft guns and Navy guns and stuff like that. And disarmed the bombs that had fell down and didn't blow up. And see, that's quite an experience, monkeying with them,
I guess so.
taking the detonators out. We made one mistake. We blew up about 200 of them in one big explosion.
Was anyone injured?
Hmm?
Was anyone injured in that explosion?
Oh, no.
No?
We all got into the foxhole we dug. Yeah. But
So
that
how
was,
long were you on this island?
one day on the one where they hadn't surrendered yet. And then we had to help with the Air Force when that surrendered. Dismantled some of the planes and stuff.
Let me see that book. I'll open it up to the page where that building's at. This- I was looking for the house that I got sitting down there on here.
Yeah.
That's it, number 24. I have to do some research with. I don't like Google, but I might end up having to go there. My son knows how to get around on the computer better than I do. I'll get him to go in and see if he can find it.
Now there's the upholstery of the one plane they had.
Oh my goodness. Pretty neat. That's an interesting souvenir.
Yeah. And we moved into their Air Force barracks. They was gone, of course, but they would bring in planes that we had to take apart. And there's the floor plan, the one of their, that's the barracks we stayed in.
That's one
On
building.
on the
right?
island.
Yeah.
It's all written in Japanese.
Well,
What?
is that what that is?
Yeah.
Kanji.
What island was this?
That was right on Japan proper.
Oh, right on Japan.
See, they took us in, we stayed out, why? Outside of, I can't figure out what really happened.
Put
We
this,
set out in the bay off of Nagasaki, 2 miles out, for 2 weeks.
how many men on this ship?
Probably about 4,000.
No kidding.
Now, they made a big splash about this Titanic when it went down.
Well, that
Well,
was a long time before that.
Yes, but what I'm getting at is the American Air Force sunk one that had 2,000 Americans and Filipino prisoners of war on it, and you never hardly heard anything about that.
Oh, I guess not.
They,
That.
huh?
I told her, I said, print that.
No.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure a lot of things happened like that
Oh,
that
yeah.
we never heard about.
Yeah.
There's a
Were you frightened when you were there?
Oh, no.
No.
The only thing that bothered us was the typhoon and the tidal wave. We didn't get any sleep at night. We were in our warehouse that we took over. And as the water got deeper, we went up higher. Spent the night up next to the ceiling on the catwalk, 2 of us. Now this, I got the rest of the book someplace, and I've been trying to find it.
What kind of book is that? Well, this is another Japanese book.
Oh, no.
Well, that's all Japanese writing. It's not English.
Oh, that's a spotter. That's a
P-38.
spotter's book.
Yeah, but look at the airplanes on
How
it.
to
Yeah.
spot your enemy airplane.
Pictures of all the different Japanese airplanes.
Oh,
Those are American.
No, they're
That's
not.
Yes, it
No,
is.
they
It's
are.
a Japanese book. It's a spotter's book.
Oh, I see. They're telling them this is what the American airplanes look like.
Yeah.
Well, this is a cool thing.
I used to have those things that were Americans learn.
This
to
is
learn
something that if you don't know what to do with, would be interesting for our military exhibit at the museum.
I've got to find
The rest of it.
the rest of it. It's here someplace.
Uh-huh.
Write that in your will.
That's amazing.
There's the theater we took over.
And what did you do with the theater?
We moved their stuff out and moved ours in.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
That's it's called occupation.
Yeah.
See, there's our P-38.
Yeah. Sure enough.
Yeah, that's a spotter's book.
I
They
see.
have the insignias, and they show you
Yeah.
about where the insignias are on the different aircraft.
Uh-huh.
Because I had 4 books that I got from my uncle. I don't know whatever happened to them. They disappeared. But they were American spotters books, and they were like this.
For the Japanese planes.
Had anybody that was in the military had world aircraft in it.
Oh, okay.
Aircraft of the world. Anybody that was involved in the war
Wow.
had their aircraft in it. Had junkers and.
Well, this program from the theater that they took over, they were, it says Special Services and USO Camp Shows present a musical extravaganza called the Panama Hattie, Hattie.
USO took over the theater.
It's a
and they had
musical
their-
comedy in 1 act and 9 scenes. Music by Cole Porter. Had to be good.
Yeah.
I should have
And where was that? In Kobe,
took you out the
Japan?
map so you could find your way out here before.
Yeah, Kobe.
come
That was in
out.
Kobe, Japan.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh my
you ought
God.
to have that behind plastic somewhere.
Not plastic. Mylar. Plastic is not the thing.
Oh,
Oh, this is, oh my. This is a map of
Of
the
the
United
United
States
States.
for the Japanese,
Yeah.
showing, what do you think the red lines are about?
Those are
Airways?
yeah.
Wow.
How to get aircraft in to do the most damage within the United States.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And the only reason they didn't, Hirohito told them, you don't want to attack the United States because there's a rifle behind every blade of grass.
Now they had a pretty good idea what they were doing when they made that, didn't they?
Yes, indeed. It's amazing. Something else should be in a museum, Roy.
These are all flight paths of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this?
Piece off one of the wings that they brought in on the planes.
Amazing. Well, you have quite.
It's off of 0, isn't it?
You have quite the.
I don't know. The
I can't read it. I know you got to go this way when you read it. Or no, it was this way.
Right.
Yeah,
top,
straight down.
top to bottom.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah.
when you came back from your military service, what happened next?
well, Mother was trying to get me out because she wanted me to help her run the place here.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway,
Because your father had died while you were gone.
yeah, Dad's already gone.
Yeah, and there's a moved away. I remember some of that. Not much. But he'd have to spark my memory a little bit because I was just
Yeah, you were just a kid.
47. I was in it.
46. Died in 46.
Yeah. I remember that though.
This is now he's showing me the May 1945 booklet called Intelligence Bulletin. Military Intelligence Division of the War Department, Washington, D.C. for use of military personnel only, not to be published. Well, when you
You're
were
gonna have to come out here when
when
you
you were at war, you had to know these things, didn't you?
Yep. Even when you weren't at war, they
Yeah.
taught it to you.
Wow.
Well, I got a couple more books upstairs I wasn't supposed to have.
Is this something that you weren't supposed to have? Or is this something
I
everyone
was
was...
supposed to leave it in the barracks.
Oh, okay. So everyone...
Same as the other books I got.
Yeah, that's stuff that just happens to get around.
Well, sure.
It's better to have
Yeah.
Well,
a real
because by the
American
time
have it.
you left, the war was over,
The
right?
huh?
By the time you left the service, the war was over.
Oh yeah, it was over before I got overseas.
Yeah.
With the ship breaking down and everything, why
Yeah.
I was over there quite late. What happened to Agent, I haven't got any idea, and I don't think they knew either.
They just didn't want to be there.
Why it broke down, I don't know.
Espionage.
But it took them 2 weeks before they get into the ship. And they didn't know what to do with us.
They had to keep feeding you.
And our papers were all loused up.
Oh, because of that.
Yeah. We had to get our overseas shots all over again.
Oh my gosh.
Although it was too much for the one guy, he passed right out.
Yeah, them buggers were bad.
Huh?
I said them buggers were bad.
Yeah.
Well, let's get you back to when you came home from the service. And you came back here and your father had just passed away.
Yeah, he'd been gone a month.
So did you come home in the summertime and it was time
it was fall.
Oh, in the fall. Time for harvest.
I got here, it was after the middle of August, on a 30-day leave. Then I went back till Fort Sheridan, got another 30-day leave. I think I was back there, 4 times.
Go ahead and put your feet out there.
Huh?
I was just telling her, go ahead and stretch your feet out there instead of having them up underneath.
Anyway, like I say, they didn't know what to do with us when we lived over there. We had all of our combat stuff, and a lot went on the taxpayers don't even know about. Now they got us up 3 o'clock in the morning. We got on a train, and I said to the guys, we're going south. How do you know? I said, well, I got enough sense of direction to figure out we're going south. And when the sun came up, why, I said, we are going south. Well, we went to Camp Beale, California.
From Seattle.
From Fort Lewis, Washington. And we got an issue of clothing. We was there 2 weeks, all winter clothing. Felt boots and 4-buckle overshoes. And I know where we're going now. We're going Alaska or someplace where it's cold. And we run the obstacle course every day for 2 weeks. Why, I don't know, or probably they didn't know. And they got us up again and got on the train dark. And they asked me then, I said, you got sense of direction, which way we're going? I said, north. And the sun come up, well, sure enough, we were headed north again. Well, we got into Fort Lawton. We'd bypassed Fort Lewis and got into Fort Lawton. And they dumped our stuff all out in a big pile. And looked at it, and guys got all the wrong clothes.
Been there, done that.
So we all took our barracks bags and stuff and went down to the supply depot, and they give us all summer stuff, all but our raincoat and wool overcoat. And our wool hat. I got my wool hat there on the shelf yet. And I said, now we're going south anyways, west or someplace. I said, it was warm stuff. And then we got on the ship, and like I say, we got 85 miles out and it quit. And then they brought us back into Fort Lawton, and we stood at formation in the morning, 6 o'clock, and 6 o'clock at night we had to be back. The rest of the time we could wander around into Seattle or Tacoma or on a pass.
So that's what happened before you went overseas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't like these clowns up here, the grilling. You don't go into town with your fatigues, you went in your dress uniform.
Yeah.
And Whitcomb and I and Sullivan, they started in Seattle, and
I don't think they even have dress uniforms anymore. Well, they might.
Saluted our assistant, one of our lieutenants. He said, "Where you fellas going?" I said, "Seattle." He said, "Not that way, you aren't. We had our neckties loose and we had our hats on, sleeves rolled up. So he said, you guys roll your sleeves down and tighten up your ties,
And then you could go.
Yeah,
then we could go."
that's the way it was up through the 60s till Vietnam.
The,
You had a good time.
that's one of them penny arcade deals.
Yeah. I remember seeing a bigger picture like that. I think.
It's a picture of 3 of Roy and his. Let me see which one is you. I didn't look close.
The one on the right.
See, we're in full uniform there.
Yep. Having a good time in Seattle.
That was probably Eddie that I saw the bigger picture of. Wasn't he in the service too?
Who?
Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He was over there with George Patton.
Yeah,
Tank.
I think he's the one that I saw with the saucer cap on, like what I had. I still got my uniform. Nothing but history when you go through that doorway.
I'm not going in there.
When you go in there and you go into the front room in there, in the sitting room.
Yeah, I've been in there.
Oof. That's all Grandma and Grandpa Lamb and whoever else. His older family.